All right, we're going to work on Unit 2, Lesson 1. Okay. First thing we have to do is we have to review how to find the volume of a box, or in this case, a rectangular prism. Volume is length times width times height. So in this case, volume is length we'll call 8, width we'll call 2, and height we'll call 10. So we just multiply those together. 8 times 2 times 10. And our volume is 160 cubic centimeters. All right, so we're going to use that idea. We got to remember that from geometry to take our next step here. We're going to start working with polynomials. All right, instead of giving you some supplies, I'm just going to talk you through this. So we're going to start with an 8.5, let's call it 8.5, by 11 sheet of paper. Okay, just a regular sheet of paper. Okay, we're going to construct an open top box from the sheet of paper by cutting out a square from each corner and then folding the sides up. So we're going to take and we're going to cut a square out of each corner. Just like that, and then we're going to fold on these dotted lines here. And it'll make a box that looks sort of like the one we had up here in the beginning. Okay, so if we take and cut a 1-inch square out of each corner, so 1 inch here, 1 inch here, okay, it started as 11 inches, so the side of our box then would be 11 minus 2, so that would be 9. The width of our box would be 8.5 minus 1 here and 1 here. So that would be 8.5 minus 2 would be 6.5. Okay? And then the height would be 1 inch. So if we want to find the volume of the box, it'd be 9 times 6.5 times 1. So I'll use my calculator again. 9 times 6.5 times 1. 58.5 inches cubed. Okay, let's say we made that cutout bigger. Let's say we went to 2 inches. So now it's 2 inches here, 2 inches here. So 11 minus 2 on each end. So minus 2 would be 9, minus 2 more would be 7. 8.5, I'm going to take 2 off of each side, so 6.5, 4.5. Now my box is 2 inches tall. So again, volume equals length times width times height. So we'll just crunch the numbers on the calculator. 7 times 4.5 times 2, 63 inches cubed. By taking a 2-inch corner out, we actually get a box that holds more. Okay, what if we go to 3 inches? So if we go to 3 inches, okay, so 11, we're going to take 3 off of each end. So 3 times 2, that's 6. So 11 minus 6 is 5 inches. 8.5, we're going to take 3 inches off of each side. So that's 8.5 minus 6. So now it's only 2.5 wide. And these boxes, these would be 3-inch squares, so that would be the height of our prism. So volume equals 5 times 2.5 times 3. So 5 times 2.5 times 3. 37.5 inches cubed. Now, you'll notice the width of our box is getting smaller and smaller. So I'm thinking, is there a point at which this would quit being a box? Okay, meaning the width would turn into 0 or go negative. So I think the reality is if we folded that paper exactly in half, okay, if we cut it right down the middle here, and take out this big old box, there's nothing left in the center to be the width of the box. So the biggest it could get would be under half of 8.5. So under half of 8.5 would be 4.25. Would be the biggest we could cut out. All right, we'll come back to that in just a minute. Okay. All right, so what if we write a function for v of x for the volume of the box, where x is the side length of the square we cut out. So we're going to cut out x of these. So in this case, the length would be 11 minus, now we're going to take x inches off of both ends. So there's 2 x's. Okay, the width would be same idea. We start with 8.5, and we're going to take x units off of this end and this end, so we're going to take 2x off of that. And then our height would be x. That's how wide the squares are we're cutting out. So that makes our volume length times width times height. So I could say v of x equals, that should have been 11. I messed up. 11 minus 2x times 8.5 minus 2x times x. That last x doesn't have to be in parentheses. All right, so we're going to graph the function and state a reasonable domain. Okay, so I'm going to go to Desmos to do that. So we're going to leave the ladybug here and go to Desmos. So I'm going to say, now I can't use v of x, so I'm going to use y equals. It's the same idea. Y equals 11 minus 2x. So that's a line. 8.5, not 85, 8.5 minus 2x. Now it's a quadratic times x. Now it's a cubic. All right, so let's zoom in here and think about what's happening here. Okay, so if our x values represent the cutout that we were using, remember I go back over here, x represents how big the cutouts are. Let's think about this. Could x values be negative? No, so that means x has to be bigger than 0. Okay, so I'm going to say x has to be greater than 0. You got to cut something out. It can't be a negative number. Okay, but look at what happens here on our graph. We go up. Remember, the red line tells us about volume. When we come back down, we hit the x-axis again. Now, if that red line is telling us about volume, there comes a point here where it goes negative. The amount that the box can hold can't go negative. That doesn't make sense. So anything above where it crashes at 0 right there doesn't make sense. So I think that's, let's zoom in here and we'll get a good estimation here. I think that's about 4.25. So that means the biggest I could get is just under 4.25. Okay? Otherwise, I'm not forming a box because it turns into a negative volume. All right, you are set to go. Enjoy the problems on lesson 1 of Unit 2.